we're going to talk about how to tap into this ability within us all to source information or ideas that we might not normally have access to. This is going to be important because I'm going to guide you into an exercise first designed by Jose Silva to help you connect with that intuitive part within you. So let's talk about guides and intuition, right? What are there? Napoleon Hill wrote a really interesting book called Think and Grow Rich close to 100 years ago. And in that book, he had interviewed all of these legendary individuals of his era, the richest men and women in the world at that time. And he tried to put together a formula of what made these people so successful. Now, the most interesting part of that book for me was when he spoke about a concept called the invisible counselor, or the boardroom technique. So Napoleon Hill said he learned this secret from an incredibly successful man of his era in the 1920s. He would sit still, because back then they didn't really use the word meditation, and he would imagine that he had a boardroom, like he had this massive table, and around this table were certain historical figures that he really respected, or living figures of his time. Abraham Lincoln was there. Henry Ford was there. Rockefeller was there. And Napoleon said every time he was faced with a difficult decision, he would imagine this table and he would dialogue with the people on this table and then pretend that they could talk back to him. Lincoln might give him advice on leadership. Henry Ford might give him advice on productivity or work. Rockefeller might give him advice on money. What Napoleon Hill was really tapping into was a form of speaking to your subconscious or intuition. In his book, in fact, he spoke about the word vibes, and he used the word vibes quite a bit. Napoleon Hill was convinced that we were connected to a deeper frequency. He said the most successful people he interviewed had learned to increase the resonance of their thought, to connect with other thoughts and receive information outside of the natural human brain. So this was part of his conclusion as he interviewed all of these successful individuals. Now, the boardroom technique is really interesting. And if you get on YouTube and you Google Napoleon Hill boardroom technique, there's a video that I produced maybe 12 years ago that you can find that kind of explains it. But we want to go beyond that and look at how can you create guides or angels, for lack of a better word, that can actually support you in life. So Jose Silva took this to the next level. As part of the original Silva Method, he would teach people to summon invisible counselors. So firstly, don't get spooked out by that. All it means is this. When you did the Silva Method, you would learn how to access deep states of meditation. And within this deep state, you would ask for two guides to appear to you, one male, one female. These guides might show up in different ways. Some might be a cartoon character. Some might be a living figure or a historical figure. My guide, when I did the Silva Method when I was like 14 years old, was Jose Silva himself. So one is a male guide, one is a female guide. The female guide was the actress Polina Poriskova. She starred in this movie called Her Alibi with Tom Selleck, and I had the biggest crush on her as a 14-year-old. I had a thing for red-headed Polish women. So anyway, Polina Poriskova and Jose Silva were my first guides. Later, Jose Silva was replaced with Leonardo da Vinci, but a cartoon caricature of him. Now I found that in my meditation, I could commune with these guys, I could communicate with these guys, I could ask for insights. Let me give you an example, okay? So I woke up today and I had a choice. I had 2 hours to get everything ready before coming to take the stage. As I was brushing my teeth, I felt sleepy. I asked my guide, do I have time to go back and catch up on my sleep? My guide said, yes, 11 minutes, we need to work on you. That was what I got. So I go back to sleep. I set the alarm for 11 minutes. But as I'm lying in bed, new ideas, new thoughts are coming to me. And at 3 minutes and 54 seconds left, I sit up and my guide said, no, lie down. We haven't started working on you. So I lie down. And for about 30 seconds, I feel this energy flowing through my body. I know my guides are doing something. I don't know what the heck they're doing, but I know something is happening. And then I wake up. So that is my day-to-day communicating with my guides. My guides are energies that I connect with to help with insight, to help with download, and I almost have dialogue with them like they're real people. Now, Napoleon Hill said this. In his book, Think and Grow Rich, he said he began to realize that there was something mystical happening when, in one of his scenarios, Abraham Lincoln got into a fight with Henry Ford. And they started arguing about something. And he's like, this was not my brain. I could not imagine that this argument would be occurring. And since then, Lincoln was always kind of cold to Henry. So this starts to happen with your guides as well. The more you communicate with your guides, the more real they get. So as I started experimenting with guides and communicating with my guides, what I found is that really crazy synchronistic stuff would happen. So recently, I started experimenting with the idea that you can create guides or energies, or one might call them aspects of your subconscious. Nobody really knows what's going on here, but we know it works. Aspects of your subconscious that can help you with a specific thing. So I was at Burning Man, and something really crazy happened. So that's Burning Man. This was one of the evenings in Burning Man. You guys know what Burning Man is, right? It's basically an incredible event that happens in Black Rock City, which is a city that is created in Nevada for 10 days. It's built up from scratch and taken down completely from scratch. Not a piece remains. It's filled with the most beautiful artwork. This is me and a couple of my friends in front of one of those pieces of artwork amidst a dust storm. Everybody wears steampunk attire, not because it makes us look cool, but because otherwise you inhale a lot of dust. And it's really an incredible thing. Burning Man is not a big party, although you can party if you want to. I go there because it's one of the biggest spiritual experiences I typically have in my life, because there are so many workshops, breath work, so many Mindvalley teachers were there. We had 10 Mindvalley teachers teaching across Burning Man. I think there were about 90,000 people there this year from all across the world, but mostly from California because you guys are kind of hippies. So, on my third day at Burning Man, I'm doing a breathwork exercise, and I'm going in and out. And this was an amazing teacher, but I'm going in and out of this altered state during breathwork. And I see this interesting creature in my mind. And I could be making it up, okay? I'm confessing that this could be entirely made up. She kind of looked like Tinkerbell from the Disney movies. So she said, "Hi, my name is Ripple." And I'm like, "Ripple, that's a really cute name." And again, in my mind, I'm just making this up. I'm in an altered state because of breath work. And I asked Ripple, "Why are you showing yourself to me?" And she said, "I'm here to connect you with people because you're naturally shy, and Burning Man is about synchronicity. Your cell phones don't work. So I'm going to be guiding you to connect you to the right people." So I'm like, okay, that's pretty cool. And so that day itself, in Burning Man, there's this beautiful temple, and the temple is a deeply spiritual place. People go there to meditate, to pray. So there was a friend I wanted to see at Burning Man, and I hadn't figured out how to find her, because imagine it's 90,000 people in this massive area, no cell phones. So I go to the temple, and I'm sitting there meditating, and I was feeling a little bit of sadness that I wanted healing. So I close my eyes, and I hear Ripple say, "Open your eyes. You're going to see someone." So I open my eyes, and the first person I see is Jennifer Partridge. She's one of our Mindvalley authors. She teaches emotional freedom technique on Mindvalley. So I go to Jennifer, I say hi, and we start meditating together, and she gives me the most incredible healing session, because that's what she does. I was feeling emotions that I didn't necessarily want to feel, a little bit of sadness, a little bit of weight, which is all normal. And Jennifer, coincidentally, is the teacher of emotional mastery on Mindvalley. She gives me an amazing clearing, and all of a sudden, I'm feeling elevated and ecstatic again. I close my eyes, and this time I'm thinking about my friend that I want to meet. And Ripple says, "Open your eyes." You literally hear it like an impulse. It feels like you're making it up. I open my eyes, and there exactly is my friend. And we spent the rest of the day together at Burning Man. Such is the power of that guide. But the weirdest experience happened on the final day of Burning Man. So, the final day, they set the man on fire. And it's one of the most beautiful sights you can see. close to 90,000 people, all dressed in glow sticks and the coolest attire, art cars everywhere, and you celebrate releasing the past by lighting the man on fire. Legend has it that the man means the institution, the government, all of those people that put us down. Burning Man was started by a bunch of hippies in the 1970s, right? So you set the man on fire, and it's the most special night. And I was cycling through a dust storm to go and meet up with Jeffrey and Peter, two of my friends, really dear business partners of mine, because I really wanted to witness this with them. But somehow, because of the dust storm, I got late, and they had left. So I arrived at our caravan, and no one is back. And now I know what's going to happen. I'm going to be alone on the most special night of Burning Man. How many of you here have been to Burning Man? Awesome, right? So you know what I'm talking about. So I get back on my bicycle. I cycle to see the fireworks, to see the man go on fire, but I'm feeling sad. So I decide to go and just sit down and meditate to deal with that sadness, that loneliness. So I find a piece of art, I'm meditating, and within 5 minutes of meditating, I sense this ripple creature. And she says, "Now is not the time to meditate." And I go, but I want to meditate, I feel sad. She goes, "No, get up now and start walking." I'm like, gosh, you're so freaking bossy. She's like, "Get up now." So I get up now, and I tell her, "I'm alone, I just want to meditate. I don't feel like being in this party, I just feel lonely." And she goes, "Start walking." I tell her, "Would you help me find my friends or meet new friends?" And she says, "Trust me, just start walking." So I start walking. I have no idea where I'm walking. And immediately I bump into Keith Farazi, who is one of our leadership teachers on Mindvalley. So yes, that's how our leadership teacher on Mindvalley dresses at Burning Man. Devil horns, really slutty vest, but he has a great set of six-packs, right? That's Keith Farazi. And Keith is there with like the most amazing people. And all of a sudden, I tell Keith I lost my friends, and he says, "Don't worry, now you're sticking with us." And I meet an incredible set of new friends. And that night at Burning Man, for the next 4 hours, I'm hanging out with this group of people, and it is just wonderful. It was one of the most special, my favorite 4 hours of Burning Man. In fact, some of my new friends are here, but it all happened because I was listening to my guide, Choo Choo and Austin and Henry. Stand up, guys. These were literally some of the new friends I met at Burning Man. They're all incredible people. And all of this happened because this entity, this voice said, "Now is not the time to start meditating. Sit up and start walking." Now that is the type of relationship that you get when you learn to connect with your invisible counselor, your guide, your angel, whatever you want to call it, spirit, your dead grandmother. But there is something here. This is a form of representation of intuition. It's almost as if, you know when they say you're crazy if you have a voice in your head? No, you're actually gifted if you have that voice, as long as that voice is giving you good advice, not run into the fire. Okay? So you get the idea. So what we're going to do next is I'm going to teach you a Jose Silva technique to bring your guide. And then play with this guide. Ask this guide for advice. Ask this guide to help you when you're feeling lost. When I can't sleep at night, I ask my guides to help me sleep. And I fall asleep. Not with a sleeping pill. I ask my guides, "Hey, I have a lot of work I need to do tomorrow to help serve the world. Early 9 a.m. meeting. Would you help me sleep?" And I fall asleep, so I don't have to be on any sleep medication. You can also ask your guide to accelerate healing. I've been experimenting lately with healing using guides, and the results I've seen have been beyond anything. So in one example, I had a shoulder injury for about 18 months to 2 years. I knew I had to get it operated on because it was super, super, super painful. During a plant medicine ceremony, I called upon my guides and I asked them to heal my shoulders. In 24 hours, my shoulder was completely healed. The healing isn't coming from you, it's coming from a different source. But we can all learn to tap into this source. So are you guys ready to create your guides? Okay. So here's what we're going to do. Okay? We're going to do this simple exercise that Jose Silva created. You're going to imagine yourself I'm going to guide you into a really relaxed state of being. And then you're going to imagine yourself in a really beautiful, peaceful location. This could be an imaginary temple. It could be on a hill looking at a beautiful valley. It could be in your living room if that is what you consider your most peaceful place. So think of the most peaceful place, real or imaginary, right now. Now, in the center, in this most peaceful place, maybe about 6 feet in front of you, you're going to imagine that there's a secret elevator that's going to rise up from the ground. Okay, as this elevator rises up, the elevator doors are going to open. And the first time the door opens, you're going to see your female guide in whatever vision she chooses to appear in. It could be Ariel the Little Mermaid. It could be Cleopatra. It could be a Shakespearean character. It could be a grandmother who passed on. If you don't know the name of your guide, you're then going to ask them for a name, and the first name that comes to mind is that name. Do not second guess it. The name may be weird. It may be not a name you like. Accept it anyway. Then that female guide is going to step out and move to your left. And then you're going to see the elevator go back down, and the elevator is going to rise again, and then you're going to see your male guide. And again, in whatever form your male guide chooses to appear, you're going to accept it. You're going to ask for the name of your male guide. Your male guide is going to come and stay on your right. Thereafter, once you know the visual and the name of your guide, every time you meditate, you're going to call upon your guides to come and be around you, to hold space for you, to create a safe bubble for you. And later, as we go deeper after lunch, you're going to learn how to call these guides to manifest for you and to also help you clear trauma or shadows. Okay, so so today, right now before lunch, we're going to call the guides. After lunch, we're going to learn how to utilize these guides for advanced manifesting as well as shadow work to remove trauma or pain, to even maybe help you sleep better or to help you heal. We'll come to that. So, let's have some beautiful meditative music playing, please. And I want everyone to be seated and close your eyes. You cannot do this standing, so if you're standing, please grab a seat. Use any form of meditation you want to try to go into the deepest state of meditation possible. If you have a tendency to fall asleep, try to create some discomfort in your body. Sit up straight, cross your legs, maybe even lift your hand a little bit off your knee. Something to keep you awake. I want you to imagine you're walking on a beach. The sand is soft and wet under your feet. You can sense the ocean and almost see the sunset glittering off the water. As I count backwards from 20 to 1, you're going to take a step on each number, feeling yourself going deeper and deeper into a relaxed state of mind with every step. 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, going deeper and deeper. 15, 14, 13, 12, deeper and deeper. 11, 10. Sense the ocean breeze on your body. Imagine the sound of the waves. As I count down, see yourself taking step by step, going deeper and deeper into the ideal state of relaxation to connect with your guides. 9, 8, 7, deeper and deeper. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You're now in a deep, relaxed state of mind, in the ideal place to to summon your guides. In front of you, you see a door. Imagine yourself reaching out to open that door, to gently open the door. And as you step through the door, you are now in your ideal place of relaxation. This could be your home. It could be a beautiful hill. It could be a garden of paradise. Imagine yourself seated in whatever spot you choose in your ideal place of relaxation. To help you go even deeper, I'm now going to count from 10 to 1. On each descending number, you will feel yourself going deeper and deeper into a deep state of relaxation where you're directly connected to Source and ready to connect with your guides. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, deeper and deeper, 4, 3, 2, 1. You're now deeply relaxed. I want you to feel your scalp relaxed. Feel how relaxed your scalp is. Feel this feeling of relaxation move gently downward to your eyes. Feel your eyelids relax. As you feel this feeling of relaxation in your eyelids, bring this feeling gently downward to your nose, your jaw. Feel your face fully relaxed. Now your throat, your shoulders. Feel your shoulders relax. Feel this feeling of relaxation flow gently downward to your upper arms, your lower arms, all the way down to your fingers. Feel your fingers deeply relax. Now feel this feeling of relaxation flow down to your chest, your abdomen, your hips. Feel it flow down to your thighs, your knees, your calves, your feet, all the way down to your toes. You're now in a deeply relaxed state of mind. At this point, in front of you, you sense the elevator that is going to bring you your guides. The first guide that is going to make itself known to you is the female guide. As I count from 1 to 5, you will see the elevator slowly rise up. 1, 2, 3. The elevator is halfway risen. 4, 5. The elevator is now up, its doors closed. Now at the count of 3, the doors are going to open. And instantly in front of you, you will see the image of your female guide. Whatever image appears is the way your guide is choosing to show itself to you. Get ready now. The doors are about to open. 1, 2, 3. The doors are now open. See your female guide. Observe her face, her clothes, her smile. Make a note of what you see. Now ask her to tell you her name, and the first word that pops to your mind is that name. 1, 2, 3. The first word that popped to mind is the name of your female guide. Greet her by her name. Now your female guide walks towards you and is standing on your left, gently supporting you. The elevator is slowly sinking back into the ground, ready to bring up your male guide. The elevator is now fully descended. At the count of 5, the elevator will rise again. 1, 2, 3. It's halfway risen. 4, 5. The elevator is now fully risen, doors closed. At the count of 3, the doors will open and you will see the vision of your male guide. 1, 2, 3. Doors open. In front of you, you sense the vision of your male guide. Observe his face, his hair, his clothing and attire. Look at his eyes, his mouth, his hands, the smile on his face. Now at the count of 3, your male guide will tell you his name. 1, 2, 3. What is the first name that you got? Whatever was the first word, no matter how unusual, that entered your mind, is the name of this guide. Your male guide looks at you, beams at you, and slowly steps forth and stands on your right. The elevator slowly sinks down back into the ground. You now have your female guide on your left and your male guide on your right. Introduce them to each other. Now feel a feeling of love and appreciation for your guides. Imagine beaming this love to them and feeling that love coming back to you. You will be using these guides later today after lunch in our session on advanced manifesting and in our session on healing and shadow work. Remind yourself again of their names so it stays locked in your memory. You will remember these names and you will be calling upon these guides often. Hereafter, every time you meditate, you will sense your female guide and your male guide around you, ready to support you. You will be able to ask them to heal, to help manifest, even for guidance. You can communicate with them anytime you want, even when you are not in meditation. Perhaps when driving a car and lost and you need to know what direction to take. Perhaps when you're looking to be guided to someone you need to meet. Now, knowing that your guides are around you, know that they are perpetually with you. They offer protection, safety, insight, guidance. They never leave you, even in your waking state. I'm now going to bring you back up to your waking state, where we can share in what we just experienced. I'm now going to count from 1 to 5. When I open my eyes at the count of 5, you'll be wide awake, feeling fine in perfect health, feeling better than before. Connected still to your guides. 1, 2, 3. Ready to open your eyes. 4, 5. Eyes open, wide awake, feeling fine and in perfect health, connected to your guides, music off. So I hope you guys had a beautiful experience. I'll give you a chance to stretch, and then I'd love to have some sharing if any of you are open about sharing what you experience. Mic runners, please be at the front of the stage. So share very quickly in 30 seconds what you saw, maybe just one guide, your female or male, and the name that you got and what they look like.
My guide was named Luminous, and she was light. There was no human form, but she was like a rainbow light. And she was just high vibration and really feminine, like super feminine. And then my male guide, he was a Viking, and he was tall and blonde hair and gorgeous.
I like that.
And his name was Thor.
His name was Thor. So what's funny is my guide's name is also Thor, but he's a tall, gorgeous black man, right? Not a Viking.
Maybe we should introduce them.
Maybe not. Anyone else? But that's cool. I mean, my first guide was Polina Periskova. It's totally okay to have a guide that you're sexually attracted to. Yeah.
Okay, so my female guide is Jessica Rabbit. Very just ba boom.
Right.
And so okay, that was one. And then I never associated with this. I've always had just the male guide, which was light. And he's always been in a golden light form.
Right.
And his name is Seth.
Seth, that's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah.
Great.
So.
Anyone? I'd love to have a male sharing.
Yeah, my female guide was a total surprise to me because Eve came out. Eve came out, and at first it was light, and then she comes out totally nude. And I thought, wow, okay. The one that started everything, so yes, Eve, thank you. And the male guide, when you first asked us to do it, first it was someone else, and then it was Sir Winston Churchill came out.
Awesome.
Yeah, is that okay?
That's perfect. That's exactly what Jose Silva said, right? It's very unexpected. Now, here's the funny thing. There was a Silva instructor who had a gift. He was one of the most psychic Silva instructors, and he had actually trained himself to get to that level. He was a former Air Force pilot, really good at what he did. But he could see people's guides. So if he would look at that gentleman there, he would see, hey, I see Winston Churchill behind you. There is some weird realness to this. And so very often a gifted healer might actually be able to see that Winston Churchill or see that Jessica Rabbit. Again, we don't really fully understand what guides are. There are different theories. Most people who talk about angels or most spiritual teachers say that there are 3 levels. All of us have a guardian angel. We can summon guides to help us with specific things. And then they say the 3rd level is angels or souls that are unemployed. They don't have work to do, but you can call upon them to help you with unique projects. Okay, so you have these 2 guides now. But what you can do, if you understand this technique, is you can ask for a specific guide to lead you to money opportunity. Just like I have a specific guide that leads me to human connection. So you can call upon these in interesting ways as well. So right now you have 2 guides, which are going to be your core pillars for guidance, for intuition. But you can summon as much as you want. Okay, now let's have one last share, and then we'll take a quick break. This lady over here.
Oops.
And then, well, go ahead. You have the mic.
Okay. My guide was, she was very elegant and formless, and her name is Petra.
Petra.
Petra. P-E-T-A.
P-E-T-A. Great.
And she's strong and really wants me to be as strong in my feminine energy. And my masculine tapped me in the back and said, no, I'm Carlos, I'm yours. and he's the businessman that wants to teach me how to be a businessman.
Amazing. So sometimes our guides come from our deepest desires, like how our soul wants us to grow and express ourselves. So that's really cool.
Thank you.
You were going to share?
My guides were not in human form. Mine, and both times that they came out of the elevator, I was hoping it would be like some gorgeous man with like six pack and all that. But mine was like a little ball of light, kept switching from like pixie form and into like a little woman. And then the male guide was a Komodo dragon. So I don't know. Yeah.
Awesome. So sometimes we get these weird imagery, but there's some truth to it. So when I first started this at 14 years old, my male guide was Jose Silva. My female guide was Polina Poriskova, the redhead Polish actress, right? Now here's what's really interesting. Not 20 years, but maybe 10 years later, I would meet my first girlfriend, whom I'd end up marrying, and she's half Polish and has red hair. Right, so that was my first wife, Christina, the woman I have 2 children with. So my kids are actually quarter Polish in terms of ethnicity. And Christina had red hair, but later I found out she had dyed it red. She was really a brunette, but still red hair when we met. Now Jose Silva, what was really, really interesting is that I ended up 30 years later being asked to build upon the work of Jose Silva. So I now teach the Silva Ultramind System. After Jose passed, I'm the official face of the Silva Method. And how weird is that? But I didn't know that when Jose Silva appeared as my guide. And at a certain point, he said, I'm no longer going to be appearing as your guide. You need to make your own way forward. Find another guide. And I had Leonardo da Vinci come in. So there's a weird truth that sometimes we may not see the connection, but sometimes the guide that comes to us may represent something that is part of our soul's desire for us. So keep that in mind.